I'm going to wait for a minute here before I start my commentary. I'm going to wait here before I start my commentary. Let a few people come on. And I pray this thing goes viral. Yes, I do. But I didn't hear anybody standing up for Whoopi Goldberg. Not even say that can't say I don't like her. Can't say I do. Testing 1 2. 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 Oh, let's turn the power on here. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. All right, so I know you can't see me just yet. I'm gonna wait till there's some viewers on, invite some people, because I really want this to go viral. Let's say yes. No. I'm gonna tag some people and invite some folks because they seem to be attacking Whitney and nobody is saying a word. And because people are scared. And I'm one of those who's not afraid because truth always speaks to power. And so this truth is going to speak to that so-called demonic power that has been vilifying us, degrading us, just done nothing for us as a people, but or if they have, the bad outweighs the good. And so I want to get the record straight. And so I'm just going to keep inviting some folks here. As soon as I sit down, we're going to get into this because it's a discussion that needs to be had. And it needs to be had every day over and over and over and over again until the truth sounds like a crashing cymbal on the reverb and full sustain to drown out the sound and the noise of the lies that have continued to be told, lulling people to sleep with this whole Jewish thing and what they are doing to our people. I think it's disgraceful, it's disgusting, and if anybody else is too afraid to address it, I will. And if Zuckerberg or whoever else wants to banish me from Facebook, this would be a good cause to get put in Facebook jail for. I'll just switch to another medium that they also do run. But we're gonna set the record straight today. And I hope that you like and share this with your friends and your family. We gotta get the truth out here. Because these people are just unbelievable. And for those who don't know better, I'm not saying that if you don't know the truth, then, I can't necessarily get angry at you. But after you hear it, if you just heard it, then you ought to go do some research. Because I'm not on here just for fun. I'm on here to speak truth to power. And what they're doing to Whoopi Goldberg is despicable, it's disgusting. It is a public and social media lynching. And the brother who so-called came on, I don't even know, he's not even worthy for me to mention his name, his little effeminate self, so-called speaking on behalf of Whoopi Goldberg. It's like, where's the real black men to stand up for our sisters when they're being trashed and portrayed in such a negative light, even after having done nothing wrong? Again, I'm still inviting folks. Like I said, I want to get this out here. I wouldn't be surprised if Facebook censors my stuff until after I record, but that's okay too. You know what? I'm going to invite some more people. I'm going to take my time on this one. Yes, I am. I'm going to take my time because this requires some time. And I hope I have the support of Dr. Kenneth Howard and Dr. Any other theologians that I know and listen to and support me, and I support them as we get this truth out here. And I'm going to get into the truth with you in just a minute in defense of my dear sister, Miss Whoopi Goldberg there. It's kind of like an oxymoron. She has a Jewish German last name, Goldberg. It's not a Hebrew name. It's a Jewish name, but it's not Hebrew at all. Okay, so again, I'm going to wait. I'm actually going to even put up some music. I'm going to wait because I like I said, I usually don't do things for, I'm going to do a video. It's going to go viral. This one video here, I want to go viral. And I hope that MSNBC or whoever or CBS sees this video. And I hope they call me. Because I'm not going to change. I'm not going to bow down and cow down like, I understand Whoopi's under pressure. It's probably how she makes her living. But to me, if I got to bow down to earn $1, I'm not going to do it. As y'all know, I'm just getting over the second bout of this whole virus thing. So please forgive my voice. I pray that Abba Yah gives me the strength to get this message out. Here we go. There's my song right there. Let me make sure I got some good volume and some speakers, because we're gonna play this song and wait for some viewers to come on. Because we got to come out for Sister Whoopi Goldberg, and she probably doesn't even know the truth. So you can't get too mad at her for trying to retract what she said. She didn't say anything wrong. She was speaking the truth, her truth, and how she felt and expressing herself. She was not doing it in a malicious way. She wasn't attacking anyone. And it's interesting how you can say something against these so-called wannabe, as the Bible calls them, the bastards of Ashdod, so-called Jews, and you say something that they don't like or misinterpret or understand, and they can affect your livelihood. I wrote this song, We Are Children of the Most High God. Let me see, make sure I don't have too much volume. Yeah. Oh, Judah, wake up. Oh, Israel, know your name. Not just 400 years, you were not born a slave. We are children of the Most High Yah, the Most High Yah. We are children of the Most High Yah, the Most High Yah. Oh, stripped of your culture and your laws and your ways. Turn away from the heathen, them that go astray, lest you be found wanting on Judgment Day. Yahuwah, oh, you are children of the Most High God. I'm going to invite some more people on. Like I said, I'm going to take my time on this one, folks. You don't want to miss this. chosen people rejected thee, but still you show your love and mercy. Like I said, I'm going to take my time on this one. And I hope you pass this message on. Brother, it ain't okay. Knows we are the children. I do own the rights to this music. I wrote this song. Let me unbutton this. I want to be comfortable. All right now. I hope that Fox sees this, and CBS, NBC, MSNBC, CNN, and any other news outlet. And I hope you share it with them. Because it's enough of the lies. I'm just sick of it. It's disgusting. And I'm just sick of the lies. And the way they do black people, it's enough is enough. And I'm not coming on here as Pastor Marcus Jarvis, no. I'm coming on here as a black man, defending his sister Whoopi Goldberg. Because I'm sick of it. All right now. So, apparently, let me get some of this reverb out of here. I don't like all that echo. And then we're going to get into it. Because these folks have just taken it too far. Now, it's really upsetting to me that, and it should be to every black person in the world, especially here in the United States, and every brother should stand up when they try to attack our women the way that they are attacking Whoopi Goldberg, whether she be awake or not, whether she knows the truth or not. We are the protectors of our community, and not enough of us stand up publicly for our women. And if people want to call me a black nationalist or whatever, so be it. My parents always taught me that charity begins at home. Even the Bible says first Judea, then Samaria, then the othermost parts of the world. I got to take care of home first. So I'm for black people first, and then for everybody else. Let's make no mistake. And I'm not ashamed to say it, and I don't care who don't like it. They say, how do you preach the gospel that way? Well, listen, the book was written by our ancestors in the first place anyways. So, now that we got that packed up. Yeah, that's right. The book that they call the Bible, we call the Besorah, was written by our ancestors. Black people. Solomon said, I'm black. See that color back there? Solomon said, I'm black like the tents of Kedar. Jeremiah said, my skin is black upon me. Revelation describes Jesus as being someone like brass put in a furnace. That's black. That's double black. That's black square to the square power. And it seemed like now with all this racism and that's been stirred up and people want to blame Trump for it. No, it's not been stirred up. It's always been here. It's just now we have the internet, and so now things are polarized and things are Because now you can put them on your cell phone, you can get them on your iPad, on your laptops, in the TV shows, and people are waking up and seeing the subliminal racism and prejudice and bigotry that's in the TV shows. And the one thing that they don't want to support, and the one thing that they don't want is strong black men. They don't want that. They don't want strong, militant black men. You can be passive, you can be effeminate, you can be homosexual. That's why they was it Dave Chappelle? I think it was Dave Chappelle. He had to get out because he said, no, I understand that Denzel, not Denzel, he's the only one who didn't besides Dave, but I understand that, who's that other guy? I can't remember all these people's names now. I'm so upset. But he played in Blade Runner, put on a dress. Martin Lawrence put on a dress. Every black man in the movie industry got to put on a dress. But if you say you don't want to do it, then the Jews get mad at you. Well, Whoopi Goldberg was expressing not even so much how she felt, but how she processes her life experience. And she said she didn't see the Jews as a race of people. When she thought of race, she thought of us because race has always been taught to us to be about color. Because the very same people that we are talking about stole our identity, so the only thing that we can call ourselves is any byword given to us by our colonial slave masters, be it France. I'm going to call it out now. Be it France. Oh, France. Yes, we won't talk about Leopold and the Congo and what he did, the slaughtering of way more than the so-called bastards that they call Jews in the Holocaust. They won't talk about that. Mussolini, we won't talk about that. The British, the colonization by, I'm sorry, we'll pass Mussolini along. We'll get to that in a minute. The British who colonized us, the French who colonized us, the Portuguese, the Spaniards, the Germans, I can go on down the line. Because you'll find black people with French names, with German names, Spanish names, Portuguese names, and you'll find black people with Jewish names, like Whoopi Goldberg. No different from Zuckerberg. And so everywhere that we've gone, they've given us their names. And when Whoopi Goldberg came, she doesn't even realize how much truth that she was expounding or expressing, because the Jews are not a race of people. They have a stolen identity. They are the Ashkenazims of Europe. They are not the bloodline of our Hamashiach Yahushua, who they renamed Jesus the Christ. And before I get into biblical proof written in the Torah that they claim to be theirs, that was written by our ancestors, I'm just going to talk a little more until I get some more viewers on here. But I could not idly sit by and watch them. And I'm not a big fan of Whoopi Goldberg's or anything like that. My feelings aren't hurt because she's a fan of mine. And Whoopi Goldberg is nowhere, as far as I know, is nowhere as awake as a lot of us so-called Negroes, Afro-Americans, African-Americans, colored people, I don't know what else they call us, black people, every other byword that the Haitian, that's not even, they call us Haitians, they call us Dominicans, whatever other name that our colonized have given us. I gotta calm down. I gotta get this point out. First of all, let's establish this. And these people that say they are Jews but are not. Now let's go to Genesis 10. Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Shem, Ham, and Japheth, 3 sons. Unto them were sons born after the flood. The sons of Japheth. And let me stop right there. The reason why I can read this and y'all don't understand what I'm talking about in terms of when I start naming people, because these same Ashkenazis, these same tabernacles of Edom, these same Edomites have gone and changed the names of the continents and changed the names of people and have perpetuated a lie that's so systemic and so diabolical that you've heard the lie so much that you believe it to be the truth. So when I say the sons of Japhet and I say Gomer and Magog, you ought to go Google map of Magog. And then you'll understand when I start naming all these people, you'll see that I go from Portugal to Spain to Turkey to Italy to Sicily to Greece to what I leave out? Oh yeah, to Russia, to China, to Japan, all of them. These are the tabernacles of Edom. So the sons of Japhet, Gomer and Magog and Madai and Javan and Tubal and Meshech and Tyrus, and the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, and Riphath, and Togarmah, and the sons of Javan, Elishas, and Tarshish, Kittim, and Dodanim. By these were the isles of the Gentiles. I'm going to read it again. And the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, skip down to 5. Genesis 10:5. By these were the islands or the lands of the Gentiles divided, everyone after his tongue, after their family and their nations. Even their own, what they claim to be their own Torah, describes them as being Gentiles. They are not of the bloodline. They are not the descendants of Hamashiach, Yahawashah, or Yahusha, who the Edomians and the Lombards or the Romans renamed and the Latins renamed Jesus or Jesus. In fact, we don't even say God in the original translation. His name is Yahuwah. Excuse me. So I have to get this out. Now you say, what is this guy talking about? I never heard. If you've never heard this before, it's because your pastor's not teaching you properly. That's number one. I don't care if you get offended. If he has a problem with what I say, my number's on my Facebook page. You can call me or you can Google my name, Pastor Marcus Messiah Jarvis. And me and your pastor or your deacon or your bishop or your rabbi or your priest, we can sit down and open this book. And the book's going to tell you who's who. Not CBS, not MSNBC, not ABC, not Fox News or any of those media that are controlled by these Ashkenazis. And I hope they do ban me on Facebook because I'm sick of it. You know, when you wake up one day and you realize that everything that you've been told is a lie and you realize who the liars are. And we're going to talk about them today. What they're doing to Whoopi is despicable and it's disgraceful. That you could say something that was not malicious with no malicious intent, and they could affect your livelihood or how you feed your family. And no, you don't even realize you're still a slave. And boy, what you say? I know you didn't say that, boy. You better correct your language. That's basically what they're saying to Whoopi. Whatever happened to freedom of speech? Or let her explain herself. You don't like the explanation? How about respect the fact that we're different? See, that's what real diversity is. I respect the fact that you respect the fact that I'm me. But that's not what it is. See, their definition of diversity is assimilation. As long as you a good Negro, Toby, and you say your name is Toby and not Kunta Kinte, we gonna let you all up in our universities, and we gonna let you in our workplaces, and we gonna have you on our media, and we gonna let you sing all the hip hop rap songs all you want as long as you call your women bitches and hoes, and we gonna make money off you, and you stupid running around here think that you free, you still a slave. And that little effeminate black man that came up trying to defend, we don't need those kind of men in our community. We need strong black men to defend our sisters when stuff like this happens. And check them. This is me checking CBS. Yes, little old me, this little old carpenter down here in Hartford, Connecticut, gonna check CBS for what they doing to Whoopi Goldberg. It's a damn disgrace and a shame. Bastards and imposters who stole our identity and now going to call us anti-Semite. How can I be anti myself? I'm tired of it. So let's go to Revelation 2:9. Now here's what these pimp pastors and these pulpits don't want to teach you because they in the they in the pockets of these so-called Ashkenazim, or they've been brainwashed by a system that's funded by them. It says, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Now, how come as a pastor, now I'm going to put my collar on, like, I don't wear them collars, but just so folks understand, you know what I'm saying, in terms of speech, because I'm speaking to everybody. Paul said, I became all things to all people that I might win some. So I'm going to put my collar on for a minute. As a pastor, if the Bible says, hey, this is the synagogue of Satan, and these are those people that say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan, I have a responsibility to teach you the truth of who Abba Yah, who you call God, is saying, hey, that's the synagogue of Satan. They say they are my people, but they are not. They are liars. And so the liar is persecuting Whoopi for saying something that they're offended by. But what about the offense that they created, or the offense that they continue to create against our Abba Yah by claiming themselves to be Jews? It says, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Now, I'm going to back it up again. Revelation 3:9. Behold, and this is what's happening. See, and I'm only one of many, but this is what's happening. Revelation 3:9 is what's happening. Behold, Abba Yah is going to make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I love thee. They're going to have to bow down at these feet for stealing our identity, for ensuring the slave trade, for supporting it, for condoning it, for vilifying our men and women in the media, making our women bitches and hoes and mammies and maids and servants. Oh yeah, I'm going to call it out. I said it. Say, oh, Pastor, you gonna talk like, yeah, I'm gonna talk like this. It requires strong words because the crime is so heinous of what continues to go on. And too many of these pimp pastors are afraid to speak the truth. I'm not. I got to tell it like it is. And you better leave Whoopi alone, or you're going to incur the wrath of the Most High. And you better not touch me, or you will incur the wrath of the Most High. See, they're afraid of folks like me because you can take everything I have. I don't care. I'm going to stand on the side of truth till blood pour out my bed. I don't care. I don't care what you do to me. I belong to him. So he who try to save his life will lose it. And he who loses his life for the sake of the gospel shall gain it eternally. So I'm not living for this life. And I got to tell the truth. He said, behold, I will make them. Abba Yah's going to make them come and bow down at our feet. And people say, oh, well, can't we all get along? No, we can't. Why can't we get along? Go look at Esau. Everything coming out of Europe comes with a sword. Why? Because the Bible said so. It said Esau shall live by the sword and off the fat of the land. And everywhere I've traveled on this earth, anything that is wealthy and looks good comes from Europe. France, war. Britain, war. Germany, war. Russia, war. China, war. Japan, war. They're warmongers. I said it. Oh yeah, they're going to get me off Facebook on this one. I don't care. And the brothers need to stand up. And we need to, and we do. We really need to stand up and put a stop to this. And how are you going to do it? Everybody tell somebody else and tell somebody else and preach this truth. These people, the 1917 Balfour Declaration, if you don't know what that is, look it up. I'm going to give you some facts on it. It was penned by the Rothschild. Oh, wait. Before I even get into that, Abiyah describes them as the synagogue of Satan. Who do you think owns the World Bank? Who do you think owns the International Monetary Fund? Who do you think that funds the wars? You got a Jew, everywhere you look, there's a Jew. Either funding wars or lending money. And what the Bible say? Thou shalt not put thy brother to usury. Who owns the porn industry? Jews. Who owns the media industry, both movie and music? Jews. And look at the crap that they give you on TV. They say they love Yahuwah, but look what they promote. And when somebody comes, they promote pornography. I don't care if you don't like it. They promote LGBT. They promote homosexuality. They are the most liberal, debased, amoral people on the face of the earth. I said it, and I mean it. And for those folks that don't know it, and you're Jewish, now you know. You have an identity that was stolen. Period. You are not Hebrews. You don't speak Hebrew, you speak Yiddish. You are not Israelites, you are not Yasharalites, you are Ashkenazims, you are Europeans, you come from Europe, and that's where you come from. And you have no inheritance. What did he say? Jacob, that's who we are. I loved and who? Esau, that's who they are. He hated. Period. That's the end of the story. That's the book from cover to cover. Whoa, got to get this out. I'm angry. I'm angry of what I'm seeing them do to Whoopi Goldberg. You would have thought that she was a serial killer or a mass murderer, that you could express yourself based on your life experience. And for them to suspend her and to affect her livelihood, or how she takes care of herself and her family, that is worse than the crime of what she did. And CBS will be, not ought to be, but will be ashamed of themselves. Because I'm going to be the spark that lights the gasoline of every other black man when anytime they do this to our sister, we going to stand up and tell the truth and call the liar out to be a liar. Oh, he must follow Minister Farrakhan. No, but Farrakhan telling the truth too. Those people are imposters and they are bastards. They are not the bloodline. We are. Christ did not look like that pale-faced faggot painting of Caesar Borgia, the homosexual lover of Leonardo da Vinci. That's what they got hanging on the cross. That's blasphemy. As it said in the book of Maccabees, which the Catholic Church took out of our Besorah. And they heathens sought to change the image of God to their image. Oh, they're going to call me a racist? No, I don't care. I don't care. I'm tired of it. I'm over it. I don't care. They can march in my door right now. It wouldn't matter to me one bit. I know that I'd rather die standing up as a man than live as a fool on my knees. So, these people own the money. Everything in the world is controlled by these Ashkenazis, because the Bible calls them what? The Church of Satan. And if you do your own research, look at their names. They're not Hebrew names. If you just take the time to turn off the idiot tube of entertainment and go and teach yourself, go and study. The Bible said what? Study to show thyself approved, not of man, but of Abba Yah, rightfully discerning that which is good and that which is evil. These are some evil, wicked people. Say, you're racist. I'm racist. I'm racist. Yeah, I'm racist. Okay. Okay. God is a racist. Yeah. Oh, why you say that? I go back to Genesis. Says I what? I have chosen you, Israel, right here. We, us, that's who we are. I have chosen you, Yasharalites, above all the nations of the world, to be a light unto the world, to show people how you're supposed to behave. All this war and sexual perversion, debauchery, and killing and crime. That's not what Abba Yah is about. All this killing our brothers and sisters, killing one another. Everywhere you look, war everywhere, disease everywhere, famine everywhere. This is not the life that Abba Yah designed for us. Ooh-wee. Let me take a sit back here for a minute. The Balfour Declaration was a public statement issued by the British government in 1917 during the First World War, announcing support for the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. If it was already theirs, why does it need to be established? And you know who was part of that? That's Winston Churchill and the Rothschild family. Those were the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Roosevelt, the Vanderbilt, the Bilderbergs. I go on. Chase, Morgan. That's Chase, J.P. Morgan. That's all of them. All those Ashkenazi Jews. And the jig is up. Okay, because we at the end of the book now. You think these coronavirus is something? Deuteronomy 28, I believe it is. These are the plagues that were not written down in the book of the law. There's something far worse coming than coronavirus or Omicron or Pokemon or any other name they want to give it. Why? Because America and the rest of the tabernacles of Edom are being judged for what they did to the children of Israel. Okay, don't believe me? Let's go to Joel chapter 3. Let's go to Joel chapter 3. I'm loving this. This is the good way to die, okay? I'm not dying as a nigger, and I'm not dying as a slave. I'm going to die a free man. For behold, in those days and in that time will I shall again bring the captivity of, and it's really pronounced Yehuda and Jerusalem, I will gather all nations. So when Christ come back, he said, I'm going to gather all nations. That's all you know. Armageddon. After that, your mind go blank because the pimps in the pulpit won't teach you the truth. It goes further on to say, and bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and plead with them there for my people and for my heritage, Israel. That's a bloodline. Heritage is a bloodline. We're not talking about those that came in by faith yet. No, because there are those that are Israel that are not of Israel. Right now, he's talking about what the Edomites, what the tabernacles of Edom, what all of Esau, all of Europe did to black people, who they call black people all over the world. And these Ashkenazis are the bankers behind it. Says, I will also bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat. I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage, Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations. You know when he says scattered among the nations, he's talking about the transatlantic slave trade. That's why the Bible says in Psalm 80, oh, we're going to get there. We're going to get there today. We're going to take our time. Today we're going to take our time. He said, who they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. So when Christ comes back, who they call Christ, when our Hamashiach comes back, the land is what? Parted. That's why it says, let me get that scripture. Oh, you find it. And a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod. Even the Bible calls them bastards. And they have cast lots for my people and have given a boy for a harlot and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. Here's what behooves me. Where did they think they act as if there isn't a God? That he's not sovereign. That he's not all omnipotent, all powerful, all knowing. That they could commit a crime like they committed against the entire world and think that they could get away with it. From the sex camps, making slaves sire children with their own mothers, making fathers sire children with their own children, sodomizing them over tree stumps, raping 9 and 10 and 11-year-old boys and girls. These Edomites, France, Britain, Greece, Rome, Italy, all of them. That's their culture. This is what they did, and they want to sweep it under the rug, but I refuse to let them do it. Refuse to. And they're going to answer for it whether they like it or not. And this is not hate. It's the truth. And truth always speaks to power. And those of us that know it, we are not afraid because we know at the end it says we win. So I'm not just speaking for me. I'm the trailblazer for my great grandchildren. Says, and yea, what have you to do with me, O Tyre and Sidon and all the coasts of Palestine? Will you render me a recompense? And if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head? Okay, so now let's go back. Let's take some logical. Let's get in our emotions and do some critical thinking. Did all the nations enslave Israel? No. Did all the nations, let me rephrase that. It says, I'm going to gather all these nations, all nations down into the valley and plead with them there whom they have scattered amongst the nations. So if these so-called Jews that were in the Holocaust, were they scattered to the four corners of the earth through slavery? Were they sold to anyone in the four corners of the earth? No. Did all the nations enslave these so-called Ashkenazis that claim the Holocaust? No. So who are the people that were enslaved by everybody, that were scattered to the four corners of the earth, that their children were sold? There's only one people that fit the description of who the Bible is talking about, whom they claim to call the Torah. Oh, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. If you're a pastor now, you're not teaching this truth, you better run from the pulpit, because the fire of the Ruach is going to get you. It says, because you have taken my silver, and what is it? Let's go to 4. And if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon you. In other words, as far as what do they want? They said they want reparations. You can't pay for what you did. There ain't enough money in the world for the sick. It would be one thing if you just say, we're just going to make them some slaves. Let them keep their names and their language and their culture. We're not going to mess with their Bible. We just want free labor. That would be one thing. But no. There's a story. I think about Emmett Till. I think about when they. I think about the syphilis experiment on black people. I think about the Negro Project by Margaret Sagan when they were sterilizing black women. I think about them peeling the skins off of black people and making lampshades. I think about the babies that they would use for alligator bait. I think about all the sex part. And this stuff, you say, well, that happened back. It's still happening. Now they're trafficking us and harvesting our organs. Now they want to assimilate us and taught you that you under grace, that you no longer have to obey God's law, and made you an obedient slave to a satanic system. No, you can't. There's no reparations. You could give us the country of the United States, and it still would not repay for the crimes that you have committed against humanity. We are evidence of a crime, and so they trying to hide us. Before I read on to that, let's go to Psalm 83. I got to go to Psalm 83. Psalm 83. I got to go to Psalm. Oh, wait. Typing too fast, Marcus. Psalm 83. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. You see, Esau hates God. He hates God. Why? Because he want to do what he want to do. He want to live however he want to live. He does not, he lives in a law. America is a lawless society because it's ruled by the lawless one. 83:3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. Are the so-called Jews today hidden? They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may no more be in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes, Gebal and Ammon and Amalek and the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Asher also is joined with them. They have holden the children of Lot. There it is in your Bible. And so they come over here and say, oh, your name, they tell you we're the Africans. Them Africans don't never liked us. They sold us to the Grecians. When you read Columbus' diary, Christopher Columbus, when he came over into Africa to take slaves from the Queen of Spain, let's get it right, the Spanish and the Portuguese were the first to come inside to take slaves. He didn't say, oh yeah, look at all these dark people, let me get them. He said, I'm looking for those people that are cursed of their God. Okay. Read Psalm 83. It tells you what's going on. I'm going to read it again. Said, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. We are the only people on the face of the earth that can't, when we say let's go home, we mean the hood or some bougie suburb. Or some fraternity that we done assimilated ourselves into. What's the word I want to use? I wish my wife was here because she good vocabulary. We become pomp because we have degrees or certificates, and they're so-called, I call them higher schools of learning the lie. Because as long as you're a good Negro, they'll give you a certificate, or a diploma, or a degree, or a PhD. Okay, they have said, come let us cut them off from being a nation. So they take your name, they take your culture, they take your language, they take your clothes, they take your food, and everything that God say don't do, they say no. They say oh that's okay, you can do it. God loves you anyways. You want to take your clothes off and run around naked, black woman? That's okay. Hear me, woman, hear me, I'm strong, I'm roaring. You want to turn around and put on a dress, Negro? Go ahead, it's okay. You want to eat swine and shellfish? It's okay. Says, for they have consulted together, but one consent, they are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom. It's a shame what they do. You know what I love about Abba Yah? He knows me. If you leave me alone, I won't say a word. But if you mess with my people, I don't care. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you if you mess with my people. I make enough money. I could live out there in the suburbs with my white brothers and sisters. I'm staying in the hood where the flavor's good. I don't care how much money I make, because charity begins at home first. And I love who God loves. He said Esau I hated. Oh well. That's between them and the Most High. Okay, let's go back to Joel chapter 3:5. Because you have taken my silver and my gold and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold unto who? The Grecians. Were the Ashkenazi Jews ever sold to the Greeks? No. Not ever. That you might remove them far from their border? Were these so-called Ashkenazis removed forcefully from their border by the Greeks? No. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whether you have sold them. See, right now, the media is not telling you this. But it's happening all over the world. It's just that it doesn't fit their narrative. So they won't tell you that the prophecy in the book that Abba Yah said, in the last days, I'm going to gather Judah from all the four corners of the earth, where they have been scattered, and I'm going to wake them up. You see, because what he said? He said, my sheep know my voice. See, I was raised a Buddhist, went to Catholic church, studied Farrakhan, the 5 percenters, redneck, Tunic, Comet. I went through all the charts. Well, who am I? And I read the Bible. Who am I in the Bible? Who's this dude hanging on the cross? What are these 22 dynasties of Nubian pharaohs? Who are the bodhisattvas of Buddhism? Who are all these? Where am I in all of this? I said, well, Marcus Jarvis, that's not an African name. So I woke up one day and said, everything about me is not, the clothes I wear is not about me. The food I eat is not about me. The music I listen to, not about me. Not everything is, I had to ask God, well, God, who am I? Who do you say that I am? Because I've been defined by every slave master on the face of the earth. Our people have been defined. If they shipped you to the Dominican Republic, you became Dominicans and you speak Spanish. They shipped us to what they call Haiti and you speak French. They shipped you to Portuguese and now you speak Portuguese, you're Sephardim. They shipped you to the island of Puerto Rico and now they give you Tahito and now you're Puerto Rican and you speak another form of Spanish. They done passed us all over the world. And those are the ones that remained alive. We won't talk about the millions in the transatlantic slave that have died in the water, that didn't make it over into North and South America, that didn't make it over into France, that didn't make it over into Britain. That's a real Holocaust. Let's go to Joel 3:7. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whether you have sold them. Right now, Abba Yah is raising us up. He's putting together an army of men that are not afraid to speak truth. Even if it costs our life, we don't care. I'd rather live in the truth than die a liar. Said, behold, I will raise them out of the place whether you have sold them, and I will return your recompense upon your own head. You're being judged right now. America being judged right now. They being judged. Africa, they being judged too. The whole world's being judged, like the book says, for what they did to us. You're going to pay. We paid for our disobedience. Y'all said you just like Saul or the Israelites, my ancestors said, well, we want to be like the other nations. Give us a king. We ain't had no president. We ain't had no senators, no congressmen. We had one Lord, one faith, one baptism, Christ as king. Lord of Lords, King of Kings. We were governed and ruled by Abba Yah. We didn't need anybody else. But because our disobedience and our carnality, whatever you want to call it, we wanted to be like the other nations. And so we assimilated. And God said, well, if you do this, this is what's going to happen to you. He said, that's Deuteronomy 28. Read the blessings and the curses. Go open your mind up some, man. Wake up. Get out of this matrix. Says, behold, I will raise. Here's the reason why these pimps in the pulpit don't want to preach this, because they're afraid of the backlash that's going to come on them, especially when they read this next verse. Let's go back to 7. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whether you have sold them. Were the Jews ever sold? But there's an auction block that used to sit right there at the state capitol in Hartford, Connecticut. And probably in every other city here in the United States, over in Britain, and every other place that we were sold. He said, I will raise them up out of the place whether you have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. And then here's the verse that they really don't like. And I will sell your sons and your children into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off, for the Lord has spoken it. Why? You say, well, what kind of God is that? He's sovereign and he's just. Why? He said, God will not, Abba Yah, Yahuwah, Elahiyah, shall not be mocked. You shall reap what you sowed. You sowed it, you're going to reap it, America. He said, proclaim ye this amongst the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. We're the only people that will sit there and let somebody degrade our women and abuse and remove our children. We would sit by with a camera and watch police just beat and pummel them. Those days are over. He said, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. He came first as a lamb and he's coming back as a lion. He's the lion of the tribe of Judah. Assemble yourselves and come all ye heathen and gather yourselves together round about thither, because thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be awakened and come to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down, for the press is full. The vats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. See, that's this. Let's go down to let me see. Let's go down to verse 19. Egypt or Mitzrayim shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness. See, now I say Edom, you're like, well, who's he talking about? Because these pimp pastors won't teach you that the tabernacles of Edom are Magog, Agog, Tubal, Gomer, Ashkenaz, Tarshish, Tyre, Sidon, all those places I just named. Go look at a map. You'll see they renamed it so they can hide the truth from you and hide us. He said, Edom shall be a desolate wilderness. Why? For the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. But Judah shall dwell what? Forever. But Judah shall dwell what? Forever. Isn't it amazing that no matter what has been done to us as a people, God's prophecy stands true. I will not allow you, Judah, to be utterly destroyed. Oh, thank you, Abba Yah. For I will cleanse their blood that I have not cleansed, for the Lord dwelleth in Zion. So let me tell you something, CBS. Y'all better leave Whoopi alone. Or it really don't matter, because judgment is coming. Now, yes, judgment come to the house of Abba Yah first. People say, what's that judgment? See, we were never Christians. Christ didn't say be born again and become a Christian. That's something that's some made up term. And they gave us a whitewashed, watered down version of the Bible and then made movies about it. Let me cut off the American funding. They're trying to give me money. These people always call me at an opportune time. There we go. And so they gave us Christianity and said that we are under grace and that the law no longer applies. But Hamashiach Yahushua said, I ain't come to do away with the law. So I come to fulfill it. And Christ knew that a deeper work had to be done, that we could no longer just focus on the manifestations of sin, because the manifestation was not the root problem. The root problem was in our heart. And that's why who you call Jesus, he said when he come back, he going to write his laws. Why is he going to say that you know law? And like God is some kind of bipolar idiot? One minute we under the law, next minute we not. But when you come back, you're going to write the laws on our tables, on our hearts. Come on, people, think. If you don't wake up, let me tell you something. Even with all that Abba Yah has revealed to me and all that I know, my dear brother Roy Jones and I, we wake up every morning and we say, Lord, it is only by your grace and your mercy that we'll make it in. You better wake up. Otherwise, you're going to be not part of that remnant. You better repent. You know what repent means? Return from lawlessness. Return back to his statutes, laws, and commandments. You don't know what 613 of them are, or whatever, how many they are? Start with the 10. Start with the 10 commandments. Because right now we live in a society, they might as well take the 10 commandments, some kerosene, some gasoline, and some C4, put it in the middle of that stuff and they have set it on fire. Because everything that the so-called, I believe in Jesus, I believe in God, and now we just want to love everybody, that's not what he said. He said, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments. These so-called people leading people to hell. They was leading me to hell. I was asleep until he woke me up. So harden not your hearts. I hope you hear the sound of his voice, in this voice. And so every black man listening to this, y'all better go on Whoopi's page. I don't know if she's on Facebook. Y'all better go on CBS Facebook and tell them they better stop this mess, because we not gonna have it anymore. It's over. No more turning the other cheek. I ain't got no more cheeks to turn. No more cheeks to turn, man. What Ecclesiastes said, there's a time for everything under the sun. Time to be born, a time to die, a time for peace, and a time for war. And we didn't declare war against them. They declared war against God. God said, I'm going to destroy Edom. Edom said, no, don't worry about it. We'll build it back up. He didn't believe that. The audacity. And so don't be running around. Listen, masks, vaccines, this, that, and the other. You can't save your life. When it's your time to go, it's your time to go. And nothing you can do. So, now that I got that out of my system, I hope that you are provoked. I always call myself the COD preacher. Convicted, offended, and delivered. I hope that you are convicted. I hope I offended you. And I hope that you're delivered. Whichever part, whatever those 3 categories that you're in, let it be so. Let it be so. If you say you believe in, I believe in God, I love Jesus. Well, go, stop. Get off of Netflix and Hulu. Get off of Showtime. Get off of HBO. Stop listening to that pimp fool in a pimp suit in the pulpit and open your Bible. Get out of the Gideon Bible. Get away from that new NIV. Go as far, get you a 1611. Go get you a Sefer Bible. Go learn another language. Go study Aramaic. Go study Hebrew. Do yourself a favor. Get your mind out the plantation. Or at least wake up and realize that you on one. Stop saying I'm free. You're not free. Whoopi's a perfect example of that. She free, all right. But don't you say not to offend Massa. Because if you offend Massa, boy, he gonna suspend you. It's a damn shame. Really is. All right, y'all know what to do with this. Like, share, post it on Whoopi's page. And she don't have to support me. I don't care if she come, oh no, I can't support Marcus, it's too militant. I don't care. I don't care. And my brothers and sisters keep me with, yes, the matter if they keep me, I don't care. Christ loved those that didn't love him. He died for those that wouldn't die for him. I choose that side of this life. That's the side I choose to stand on. The side of truth. Repent from paganism. Stop throwing up Christmas trees. Go do some research. Where did this thing come from in the first place? Stop celebrating Easter. I ain't never seen a rabbit lay an egg yet. Everything in your life on this plantation is pagan. All your feast days, all your holidays were given to you by your colonizers. And you think you worshiping the Most High Abba Yah. You're not. Christmas tree, just a pyramid. And that star is the all-seeing eye of Horus. It's on your dollar bill. And the pyramid is just an obelisk. That's down there in the Washington, D.C. Monument. And surrounding that thing, the White House is those 5 major Masonic lodges to make up the six-sided star of Satan. Wake up, man. Open your mind. Free yourself from the plantation, man. Trust me, man. Let me tell you something. As lonely as it gets sometimes, I look at other people and I'm like, I'd rather be me than be a zombie. I'd rather be me than be a zombie. They turn you into a zombie. What's your name, Clumpton? No, I said, what's your, Toby. That's a good Negro. Not me. They're going to have to shred every piece of flesh off my bones before I give up who Abba Yah says I am. All right, this is Pastor Marcus Jarvis, Moray, brother, whatever you want to call me. Know this, I don't want your money. All I want is your service. People say, here's another pastor. Let me tell you something. And I have to say this, I always say this. I don't take any money from my congregation. I don't live off the money that comes in here. We collect it, we pull it together, and we spend it on whoever has need. Need a car, need a house, need some groceries, need some light baby pill, need some clothes, kid need to go to school. What? Why? Because we travel as one people. And if one person's hungry, we all are hungry. If there's one piece of bread and 7 people, that piece of bread is getting cut up 7 times. That's the book of Acts. You see your pastors doing that? Said the disciples came and laid the titles of their land, titles to their house and the deeds to their land, and put them at the disciples' feet, and was distributed to everyone as according to their need, and they had all things in common. That's the God I serve. And we all gonna get down together, and we all gonna get up together. But pass this message along, man. I don't need your money. I'm good. He always guides and protects me. When I was in the lie, I struggled. When I came into the truth, I said, I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread, and I believe it. And it has been so. And if 5 minutes from now or tomorrow, the Lord say, take it all away, I'm going to say like Job, the Lord giveth, and Elohim taketh away. Blessed be his name. And I'm the kind of Negro you don't want to incarcerate. See, they didn't want to incarcerate Marcus Garvey. Oh no, we can't have, because you're going to give me access to a whole bunch of Negroes. I'll raise up an army. First thing I'm going to teach them is math. Let me see. There's 2,000 inmates and 200 COs. How's that calculate? All right, I'm going to go now. This was not for entertainment purposes. This is to let Whoopi know that there are real black men out here. There are real Hebrew Israelite men out here that will defend their women when the so-called bastard Ashkenazims try to affect them, their livelihood, or defame their character or their name. She said nothing wrong. She expressed her experience of the life that she's lived as a black woman, trying to, I don't even want to say that Whoopi tried to assimilate with her last name Goldberg. I think she's, people just trying to eat. It's like some people taking this vaccine just to keep their job. Not me. Nope. I'm going to die the way I came in. Where I came in, that's how I'm going out. God bless y'all, man. I love y'all. Y'all know I love you. I prove it to you. And I hope you like and I hope you share this. Oh, I got to put on, we got to go out with my song. We got to go out with my song. Y'all should listen to the words. Y'all should really listen to the words.
Oh, Judah, wake up. Oh, Israel, know your name. Not just 400 years. You were not born a slave. You are Judah.